Hello everyone, I hope you are all safe and well. You will notice something different. I have a full head of hair. Well, not quite true. I have facial hair growing, and that maybe is a sign that I'm on holidays and I've just been too lazy to pick up a razor. When you're on holidays, you do have more time to reflect. And I have been reflecting and looking on websites, reading the newspaper, and seeing on many church advertisements the church is canceled. And I remember someone on Facebook saying, church is not canceled. For each and every one of us is the church. And we are alive and well. And wherever we are, we need to remind ourselves that we are the church. And I recalled a devotion that I gave a number of years ago, and I searched around and found it. Talked about the church being dead. And the passage of scripture was Luke 18:10 and 11. Two men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not like other people. The devotion was one of my favorites, and it was written by C. Harry Causey, and it was called The Silent Singer. And it goes like this. Your church is dead, she said, as she confronted the pastor at the front door of the church. The service was just over. This was her first visit, and it would surely be her last. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, the pastor replied. He tried his best to offer a composed, empathetic response to her outburst. Underneath, however, he was embarrassed and uneasy. He felt certain that those standing in the line behind her had heard the confrontation. The pastor said, Well, tell me why you say that. It's obvious, she insisted. The people don't sing. He was surprised at her accusation. It was his opinion, in fact, that his congregation participated freely in all the singing. That's an interesting observation. Why do you say that? Well, today I sat in the balcony, and an older man came up there and sat by me, and whenever it was time for the hymns, he would just open his hymnal and he would look at it. He didn't open his mouth to sing, not even once. I think that's just awful. If your church were really alive, then all the people would sing. The pastor then understood the situation. As calmly as he could, he gave her this response. Oh, I see. I know just who you mean. That was Mr. Crowley. He's been a very active member of this church for many, many years. And he really loves the Lord, but you see, he had a stroke a few months ago, and it left him with partial paralysis and without the ability to speak. Today was the first Sunday he was allowed to return to our church family. I assure you that he was indeed singing from his heart. Well, the disgruntled lady looked down at her feet, and she paused, and then she responded, Well, I still think your church is dead. And she then walked away hurriedly, never to return. The reason I recall that devotion is not only because how it started, your church is dead, and how the advertisements we see in the newspaper and on websites that the church is canceled or postponed. It reminded me, as I said at the beginning, that we are the church. And when we are able to reopen as a church family, to gather once again, well, we may not be able to sing because of the pandemic restrictions. Yes, that is a reality, that we probably will not be able to sing in our churches. Community choirs will not be able to sing. Church choirs, maybe even in schools and universities. But our hearts and minds will be able to sing. Even if it means that we hum the words, hum the melody. The church is not canceled. The church is not silent. It is alive. And when we gather once again, even if we are not able to sing as a congregation, as a group of people, as a community choir, we will be able to sing with our hearts. For music is more than an art. Singing is more than an art. It's a matter of our very hearts. I hope that you will have a great day, that you will remind yourself that you are the church, and you are alive and vibrant and witnessing to the world. And if you return to church, sing with your hearts. Have a great day. Have a wonderful summer. Until we meet again, or until we sing again, have a great week.